Yo, 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 95.7 The Boss is where we are hosting. What's good, y'all? The Big Fish Show. Now, hey, listen, I got somebody on before we get this thing popping. I got somebody on. His name is Brandon Kenny. Hold on, real quick. His name is Brandon Kenny. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. His name is Brandon Kenny. What's up, Brandon Kenny?
What's up, big dog? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. How you doing, Famito?
I'm good, man. I can't complain, man,
Yeah.
at all, dude.
Tell me this, man, before we get started on the Big Fish Show, where it's dedicated to unlocking entrepreneurial potential from your boy, Myra Pierce. Who you got, man? Chiefs or Hawks?
Man, Eagles, man.
You
but
see, you see, you see how bad I am.
I like that, sir. I like
You
that.
see how bad. You see how I just disrespected the Eagles.
Nah, it's all love, bro. You just a Lion Hawks, man. It's all good. But man, I just want to see a good game, man. I just want to see a good game. It's dope to see Patty Mahomes in there another year. Saquon Barkley's story is super, super dope this year. What he's had to deal with adversity wise. So I just want to see a good game, man. That's all.
Hey, man, real quick, putting all that to the side, you doing something super cool in Omaha called Alliance Sports Training. Why?
Why, man? God's vision, man. God's vision that He gave you, man. And during COVID, actually, and we just being obedient to the call, man. Excited about what's happening. Excited about the growth. Just to see so many lives being changed through sports, man, and being able to be a servant leader through it. It's been awesome. It's been a dope journey, man. A super, super dope journey. And again, the growth to see so many kids, to see so many adults being affected through the Alliance bug, man, in a great way is amazing.
Man, it's been so cool to be able to see just the journey, man, and just us as brothers and as friends to be able to see so many kids have an opportunity, to not just play ball, but like on the field and off the field, man, to see their potential and to see my kids,
Yeah.
man. My son is going into high school. He played with you from the beginning, BK.
The beginning, been a great kid, great learner, a leader, been everything that we've always asked him to be, man. We tell people all the time, we can have a million Jerichos, bro. We'd be happy with that, man. Super, super key.
Man, straight up. Hey, before you leave, man, how can people get a hold of Alliance Sports Training, man? Because I think it's the best thing going right now.
For sure, man. Yeah, head over to alliancesportstraining.com. We have a tab there that you can contact us if you got any questions about sports, life, if you're needing prayer, whatever that it may be. We offer services along the lines of youth sports, football, basketball, 707, cheerleading, working on the different, few other things, but we do anything from our community events, youth nights during the summer, on Mondays at the Union Fellowship Church. So yeah, man, yeah, anybody have ever, yeah, there you gotta get it out. Ever have any questions or concerns, man? Feel free to reach out. Check out the website, man.
Appreciate you, BK. Go Chiefs, baby.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Take care, man. Hey, y'all, that was Brandon Kenny, my good friend. He played ball at Nebraska for a season and had an opportunity to just do life with BK. So to see him, man, to see him doing this thing with Sports Alliance training, hundreds of kids' lives are being changed. And that's why the Big Fish Show exists, man, to keep it a buck. It exists to unlock the entrepreneurial potential and leaders like BK who's killing it, him and his wife. And so we have another person on today. I just thought we're just gonna keep doing crazy stuff. I'm announcing today that I'm in the middle of launching a new audio book. It's gonna be super dope. It's gonna be called Encourage Your Crazy. And I'll just say this. Encouraging your crazy means that you're taking a risk at betting on yourself and realizing that we're gifted, we're talented, that we can make ourselves useful to the world.
Yes.
And I have a friend here today, those of you who are listening by radio, those of you who are online or will catch this via social media sometime later. I have a friend on here. His name is Manifest Entity. And you'll see why his name is Manifest. But We want to always bring fresh content, fresh leaders, fresh entrepreneurs, those underdog entrepreneurs who aren't sitting maybe somewhere in someone's corporate office, but who are literally getting out the mud. They are literally doing what they have to do to make their dreams a reality. And you'll hear it often here that the way that we define entrepreneurship is starkly different than the way we've been defining it in the West. And I'll talk about that on some shows later. But we define entrepreneurship as the self-directed pursuit of opportunities opportunities to create value for other people. And if we use that as the baseline for entrepreneurship as a definition, then I think more and more people will realize that, nah, man, check it. Like I have like what it takes to add value to other people, which is interesting enough because after my friend does something that he's gifted in terms of adding value, he's gonna be super amazed. So here's what I need you to do. If you are listening by radio and you're not driving, text your homegirl, text your homeboy, say, yo, get on 95.7 The Boss, get on the radio right now, go to the streaming app right now, get on social media right now, follow Myron Pierce Official on all platforms or on the Pond platforms, on Manifest Entities platform, and you're gonna find out why I invited him today. So you go ahead and grab what you need to grab. And then as you're grabbing it, I'm going to tell you a little story. I met this man a couple years ago, and he's going to share his story after. But I met him a couple years ago. His name's Manifest Entity. Manifest Entity, this powerful man who has an amazing story. Our lives collided, or intersected rather, and he joined our entrepreneurship cohort, and in joining our entrepreneurship cohort, we just bonded like this. And kind of find out that Manifest Entity is not just an author. He's not just a speaker, a motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, but he's also gifted in the saxophone. So I invited him to come. And this is part of me encouraging my crazy. And so I love taking underdog entrepreneurs who are getting out the mud, who are using their gifts to add value, and in exchange, people's lives are being changed and their bag is being built. So are you ready?
Super Bowl's in.
Come on, y'all. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Narlands.
Come on, man. Hold up, Manifest. So go ahead and pull up a chair, man. I want to talk to you real quick, brother. Come on, man. If you are listening by radio on 95.7 The Boss, Big Fish Show is in the building. I'm telling you, we're bringing people from all walks of life because we have one thing in common. We've discovered that the highest degree of a man or woman is tapping into that untapped potential and getting it unlocked. So,
yes.
Hey, man, welcome to the show. Welcome to Big Fish Show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, brother. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, Mr. Myron Pierce, this is a phenomenal re-intersection. Thank you so much for when I was coming out of the mud. You saw some potential in me, did the shift program, and then you actually gave me the opportunity to work with some of the new students coming through. And it's just phenomenal to see the impact that you've had on so many lives, the impact that you've had on so many businesses in North Omaha, and that these individuals coming through the shift program, to see them transform in that program.
Yeah.
So a little bit about myself. My manifest entity, they call me Manifest Impact Entity. And I have a company called EGA Impact, where we believe in experiencing enriching excellence from the inside out, continue to bring those healing vibrations. But I believe in that journey of that internal journey.
Right.
Being someone who was formerly incarcerated, being someone who was formerly in the military, being someone who came from a large family but never quite fit in and didn't know which way my life was going to go. So then over a course of time, you begin to realize that sometimes it's not set and designed for you. Shouts out to 13th.
Yeah.
That documentary from Netflix. Thank you for putting on YouTube so everybody could get wisdom.
Straight up.
But that wisdom was shown to me that my life was even reflective of that. I was headed in that cycle. But thank God for God.
Right.
Thank God for the openness. So I'm bringing out a new book on Valentine's Day. We're going to pre-launch it so we can start loving on these people the right way. The same day that Marvel wants to come out with the first Black Captain America.
Okay. Okay.
This being Black History Month.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit because I love this. Thank you guys for listening in. If you're just joining us via online on the Pond or Mind Pierce Official or 95.7 The Boss by radio or by the app, we want to tell you welcome. This guy right here, I don't want you to miss it because the reason why this channel exists is that sometimes when we look at people who are successful or we look at people who run companies, we measure ourselves by their success.
Yes.
So it's not even sometimes that we measure our success. Like we measure ourselves by their success, which is interesting when it comes to your book. And I want you to speak on that a little bit. So your journey for me has been intriguing to see how you have managed to keep going. Prison, military, life-altering situations happen in your life, and you wrote, this isn't your first book.
Actually, this is volume 1. The original book had to be broken down into, I chose the 4 seasons.
Okay, so you took but you did have an original book, but then you
we broke it down.
Into the seasons.
4 volumes when we're done.
Okay, so tell us about this volume.
This volume is going to capture the reader where they are the most, and that's usually someone who is they feel like they're down on their luck. Life be life and struggles. What do I do? So that we call that the winter. And even though the winter might be cold, things are dead in the winter, but this is the nucleus. This is the seed, because the seed comes to you in death.
Okay, so this is what makes what you're just saying so powerful. Because the picture of the seed is the greatest example that I've been using when it comes to potential.
Yes.
So keep going. This is great.
The life is in the seed.
The life is in the seed.
But the seed itself is dead.
Okay. You deep. I'm going to have to bring you back.
So we're going to begin.
Hold on, everybody, right now, if you're listening by radio, call your homegirl, your baby daddy, your cousin them, your mama LaWanda, LaRon, Pookie, Meech. Call all of them right now. If you're on social media, all you got to do is go @highlight, @comment, and share this joint, because what he's dropping is what we need. We talk about gatekeeping in our community. Man, listen, let's stop magnifying gatekeepers and let's start attracting and opening up our hearts to those who have the gems. My rant is over. Go on.
This is good. It's already created in you within the seed.
So the life is in the seed.
The life is in the seed.
Yeah.
But the seed itself is dead.
But the seed is dead.
So you got to kill the old you for the new you to be able to take root.
So that's why the idea of like, unless a seed goes into the ground and dies, it cannot
bring forth
a new life.
And that transition happens in the winter.
That transition happens in the winter.
I tell everyone, you got to do it when no one's watching, behind closed doors. You create the vision environment. Your value is your superpower, because after the breath of life that we're grateful for, because he gave us another day. But the next thing he gives us is he gives us thought, and then he gives us time. So you can't manage time, Time is constant like gravity.
Right.
It's going to do time.
Okay.
I can manage what I do within that time.
Okay, so that's a big mind shift because a lot of people talk about time management. That actually doesn't exist. You can't manage something that you can't stop. They better quit playing with me. You better quit playing with me on the Big Fish Show, baby. Exactly. This is my brother right here. Let me say it again. You can't manage what you can't stop. So let's just do away with time management.
Manage this.
Wow, that's good. I can't wait to read this book.
Manage this.
What's the name of the book?
Your value is a superpower.
Okay, keep going. This is good.
So in that winter time, that's the adversity that most people break down in, but it's in that winter time where your adversity is actually making you the strongest.
Right.
So champions, they are champions because they know what to do in the practice, in the off season.
Right.
That's why when they get out in the live game, shouts out to whoever wins the Super Bowl because it's going to show me who's the hungriest for this year.
Man.
It would be nice to have a three-peat.
Right.
Because that's history in the making.
Right.
But Hurts and his team has been putting in some work.
Right. Getting back to what you just said. And a shout out to, real quick, to Stacy Honeycutt from Essential Gathering Place and the Essential Gathering Shop. Both of those two locations are your place for shopping Black, and it's your place for hosting events. Stacy Honeycutt is a staple in our community. So do yourself a favor right now and go to Facebook and look up the Essential Gathering Place. Look up the Essential Gathering Shop, and let's do business with one another. If you're an ally, man, we love allies, man, because we give you a space to work together, and that's what we should all be doing. And so, Stacy Honeycutt, want to say thank you so much. If you're on social media, tag the Essential Gathering Spot right now. If you're by radio, go ahead and text a friend and say, girl, we should go down and shop on 60th and Ames. It's around that place. 50th and Ames, around there. She's going to kill me because that's a sponsorship highlight. Anyway, you're saying something that is it's the starting point for entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Because like when you say it's if we use the definition that entrepreneurship is the self-directed pursuit of opportunities to create value for other people.
Yes.
But this book says your value is a superpower.
Yeah.
So how do you reconcile, and I bet it's in the book. Here's my assumption. It's hard to add value if you don't recognize that you have value.
I'm glad you said that. That's the difference between awareness and self-awareness. Awareness is to know, not to do. Knowledge is power. No. Applied knowledge is power. Self-awareness says, I need to make this fertile soil. So the seed that's being planted doesn't necessarily have to grow. It's what we do to treat the soil. And then the struggle, the texture of the earth itself is hard. So that's the struggle you're going through in your life.
Wow.
But on the other side of breaking ground, we're going to take you into the roots, because when the roots grow stronger.
So here's what I want to do. Those of you listening by radio, watching by social, what my brother Manifest is bringing up is very important, because a lot of times we look at, we say things like, man, I didn't go to business school. We've allowed the gold standard of what commerce or adding value should be based on the dominant majority culture. Right?
Even when that culture is not designed for you to succeed in it.
Yeah. And the thing I love about America, the thing I love about being a citizen is that because we have value and because we have untapped potential that we can unlock, there's no system or culture or whatever that can stop a seed unless it's planted in the right environment. And so what you bring up as you right. And so what you bring up, like what you're bringing up about the seed and the environment and it having to die and the life is on the inside. All of those principles did not come from the upper echelon of higher education. It actually came from nature.
Nature.
That you feel me? That nature. Like if you want to be an author, like manifest, and you say I want to turn my author into I want to turn the idea of being an author into being a business. Like if you want to do that, there's nothing stopping you. There's no one. There's no one who can stop that. The only thing that stopped that is what?
Yourself impose limitations. You stop yourself. If you look at nature, it's constant with all the principles of the universe.
Mm.
So the way water flows, the way trees grow, grass grows, the way animals live, the way humans live, we're all under the same principle.
Right.
And that principle is of creation. Because in the beginning, it was darkness. And God said,
right,
let there be.
Yes.
Okay, so that's how it comes to be. It doesn't happen overnight.
That's good.
It's a transition that you go through, and I call it an LTA, a life transformational adjustment. But once you have that in place, then you know the circle that's going to need to surround that seed to cultivate it.
So why did you write this?
Shift.
Why did you write this book? And what can people look forward to?
Because I got tired of losing in life. I got tired of every time that I did something, it seemed I've been homeless several times. I've lived in cars several times, incarcerated, went to the military, and then when they released me, I never had a transition back into civil society.
So I just had this thought as you were talking. You said, I've been homeless, I've been this, I've been that. I just had this thought that if we look at your life, your ideas, your motivations, your desires, your dreams, and you being placed in those environments,
yes,
there was a quote, and you guys can write this down or put it in your phone or comment on social so that you don't forget it. There was this quote that says, they thought they buried me. Think about that.
Yeah.
Being in situations like, say you try to you had this crazy idea to help single moms and you end up launching a venture, or you saw that people were, getting the middle finger in the area of injustice. And so you started a paralegal company, like whatever it is, what you're demonstrating for me as you're talking about the book in your life is that growing a company and making a difference doesn't happen in environments that seem conducive to your flourishing at first. Like you said, it looks dark, it looks ugly. Like sleeping in a car is like the dirt. You know what I mean? They didn't bury you.
Notice we usually advocate for things that we've suffered through. That's why we become
That's
advocates.
That's really good.
Yeah. So when I'm going through mine, I can't take credit. God opened my eyes.
Right.
He said, in all thy ways acknowledge him, he would direct my path. So that means that I need to have a relationship with him first.
Yeah.
And then he taught me how to have a relationship with my mirror. But in that process of self-awareness, I understood that I'm a human being like everybody else. This is humanity. We all going through something.
Yeah.
So people begin to come to me and be like, Manifest, how did you do this? Manifest, how did you do that? But the first thing I ask them is, are you curious or are you serious?
Oh, hold on, everybody.
I can give you the answer. It doesn't mean it's going to
Hold on, those who listening by radio right now. Are you serious or are you curious? Go ahead.
Because whatever you do the most of is what you're going to become the best
at. Oh, my God. Man, listen, this is the best show happening before the Super Bowl. This is pre-game Super Bowl. Say it one more time, man.
Whatever you do the most of is what you become the best at. It doesn't say positive or negative.
Yeah, it's so good.
It says patterns. You practice for the Super Bowl, not in playoffs.
So this is what we need you to do. If you're listening, you can go to Myron Pierce Official's Instagram, social, and YouTube, Facebook. I'm going to drop right now. It's on the screen. The QR code to pre-order his new book coming out. Your value is a superpower. Also, if you're listening by radio, um, take some time. Go to social media, get a hold of him. Are there other ways that people listening or watching could get a hold of you?
Yeah, simple. It's Manifest Impact Books and Events.com.
Manifest Impact Book and Events.com.
That's books with an S and events with an S.
I love it, man. Best lightning round for you, real quick. Best piece of advice for someone who feels like they're losing.
I just quoted, whatever you do the most of, you become the best at. So if you're looking at your life in a state of stress, that's what you're becoming the best at, being stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
I choose to look at my life in a state of gratitude.
Mm.
So the advice I would give to you is you got to love yourself first, because the more you grow you, the more you have to put into any relationship or investment.
The more you grow you, the more you have to put into any relationship or investment. This is why the Big Fish Show exists, bro. It's been good. My friend, he's gonna hang out in the studio with us a little bit more. We have another guest coming up, but it's gonna be super dope. But in transition, we're gonna have him play one more time. How's that?
Your value is your superpower.
Come on, man. Let's do it.
My mother's an angel now, so this is her song.
Man, listen. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Love you to life.
I wanna be able to have you back. Are you hosting a launch party for the?
Oh, speaking of which, February 14th, my love letter to the world. It comes out on the same day, and I love this is Black History Month, because for the first time in history, Marvel has produced a Black Captain America, where you see a Black character in a role like Superman or Iron Man. We got a Black Captain America. So that's happening on February 14th. February 14th is Valentine's Day, of course, and then we have Black History Month, and now you will have the pre-launch of Your Value is a Superpower. So my love to the world, from myself to you, continue to be encouraged. Continue to love on yourself. It's called self-esteem, self-worth. Self is not a bad thing, contrary to what you've been taught. If you don't love you, how can I?
Come on, man. Come on. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Okay. Well, hey, y'all. This has certainly been an amazing time. We have about 20 minutes left, and one of the things I want to talk to you about today. I think I'm going to keep up his pre-order today. Be sure that you pre-order. Your value is a superpower. You know, I've been in business for a long time. I've had companies. You know, I've started roofing companies, marketing companies, affiliate marketing, MLMs, car detailing. I mean, I've had this plethora of experiences where I've just jumped off the porch and tried to make myself useful to other humans. And consequently, I've learned a lot. And a lot of my experiences have morphed into what I do today. It's morphed into how I'm serving people in my community. It's my passion to see communities that are plagued with hopelessness, because One of the things you realize when you travel, or when you go to a community that maybe you don't want to frequent because of what other people talk about, what people talk mostly about is the dirt that they see. And I love what my man Manifest talked about in terms of looking at nature. That scientific word that he's referring to is what you call biomimicry. It's the ability to learn from nature, to learn about nature's life altering truths and principles, and then to apply them to life or business or your entrepreneurial journey. But what's useful and beneficial in this conversation is when you talk about communities like ours, that people often say, "Oh, stuff ain't going on. There's a lot of crime, or all these things are happening." They're talking about the dirt. That's very shallow thinking, because beneath the dirt is what my man talked about, Manifest talked about, are seeds, and those seeds are you. Those seeds are humanity. That you are in North Omaha, if you live in North Omaha, or you are in a rural environment, right? Or maybe you're in a suburban environment and you don't know your neighbors, right? But you're that seed in that neighborhood. You're that seed on your job. You're that seed in your whatever type of situation. And yet sometimes seeds don't grow because they don't have the proper nutrients. They don't have the supportive system in place to make sure that their business, their life is irrigated enough to see the fruit so that other people can eat from it. And when we look at that in today's language, I've had a lot of conversation, and I've coached a lot of people, excuse me, and I've consulted a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses. And what I ultimately see lacking, that just needs a little bit of support and a little bit of encouragement, is how do you make sure that on your self-directed pursuit of opportunities to create value for other people, as you crystallize a pathway of commerce, a new venture, a new nonprofit, a new mission, right? A new corporation, whatever you give birth to, you have to make sure that you can sustain the life of that entity, the life of that business, the life of that company, that nonprofit, right? Because everything, I love what he said. He said, Manifest said that there is life. There's life in a seed. And when you look at the life in your business, if it does not have the proper, adequate systems in place, instead of growing your seed, you might be killing your seed. So the best way that I've been able to help entrepreneurs think about this is, and I keep going back to what Manifest is talking about, that we ultimately can't manage time, but we can manage our mind, and we can manage the resources and things like that in time. Now, in time, I've recognized that all of us have fell short of how or what we do in time. Right. So if you look back over your life over the last 7 days, and if you look at the outcome of those actions or behaviors in that time, what is the fruit of that? What's the fruit? What's the outcome of that? Right? What is that? Take that out of there. Move that over there. Yeah. And so, because one of the cool things, I don't know if you've ever listened to or watched, it's the white dude who goes in and he has a British accent. I went and looked at the outside of his restaurant when I had a layover in Vegas one time. But he goes into a restaurant that's in shambles, and they're on the brink of disaster, closing their doors, bankruptcy, whatever. And he goes in and he helps them. And I love those shows because they teach me, like a master class on what I do for a living, which is really unlocking untapped potential. I'm like a cheerleader. I'm like the Bomac of business when it Bomac, right? And I'll go in and like he goes in and he'll see what the problem is. He'll see it. And that's one of the goals of entrepreneurship. A lot of people create solutions without identifying problems and then wonder why their product don't sell. It's not the people hating on it. Excuse me. So what's beautiful about this is that I've been able to go in and see what's up under the hood. of people's businesses. And what I often take notice of is how they organize. If you look at the life of a seed, it's organized. If you look at the life of your kids, they are organized in some fact. Their growth, the 9 systems that they have, 9 major systems: lymphatic, respiratory, circulatory, skeletal, all these different systems that exist to support life, man. Can you imagine what your life, right, or the life of your business would look like if you would organize? And so I want to give you some tools today. I want to give you one tool that is going to help you organize your life and your business so that you can continue to grow at whatever stage. And what's beautiful is this: if you're listening by radio, go to Myron Pierce Official, or go to YouTube, or go anywhere that anything's streaming. Find On the Pond or Myron Pierce or the Big Fish Show or 95.7 The Boss, and I'm going to be able to provide you these resources. In fact, I think in the caption right now, at least on social, I have that available for you. But if you're by radio, feel free to hit my socials up. But here's what I want to. Here's the tool, because a lot of times we look at it and we think, man, life is complicated and I don't need another tool. But here's the reality: tools are designed to make your life better. One more time for the people in the social media back, baby. Tools are designed to make your life better. Let me give you one example of why tools are designed to make your life better. Right now, I am streaming to about 5 different platforms, just on my social platform alone. Now, think about 95.7 The Boss, that's also hosting the Big Fish Show. It's streaming to 900,000 people on the radio. Are they all listening on the radio right now? Probably not. I'm not that popular, right? They're getting ready for the football. They're getting ready for football. But guess what? They can go to the app, 95.7 The Boss app. What am I saying? I'm saying that once you can stream your life, that the success of your life will carry over like into your business. Man, there are so many dope people that I've met around the world, and there are so many amazing people that I've met here locally, and they're doing amazing things. Sometimes people don't even know about them, and it's not because they shouldn't be known. It's that they haven't organized their life in a way that people can see that they even exist. You feel me? So when I'm streaming, one way that I'm trying to organize for this show, and I'm getting better, and I'm pretty sure down the line here in the next week or so, I'm going to be asking for community feedback, because I want feedback for the show, because I want it to be better. It's not about Myron, it's about the community. So when you think about this tool of organizing your life in such a way where you can be fruitful in your life and in your business, it's a simple one. And I'm going to put it in the caption. And if you go to onthepondnetwork.com and subscribe, I'm also going to send out an email later this week. But you can think about organizing your life in 3 categories. Behaviorally and psychologically, it's been proven that we can't do a lot at one time. You feel me? And so one of the first questions in this tool, it's a question toolkit that you can ask yourself, is number 1, what do I need to do now? It's very simple. You thought you was going to get something elite that you can get out of Oxford or something. No, I'm bringing it down to you as if you were my 8-year-old. What is it that you need to do now? Before I left to come to the show, I told my kids, hey, this is what needs to be done now. Why does this question matter? Because it distinguishes you from what needs to be done. Not only what needs to be done later, but what needs to be done later because it's not important now. That question takes everything that is knocking on your door, everything that's knocking on your door saying, hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to do that. In fact, man, listen, today, I'm going to tell you today. Let me tell you what my day was today. Super crazy. Drop my son off at baseball. Pick up another son from a birthday party. Drive back over and pick up my daughter from a friend's house. Go home, drop them off, come back to the show to prepare for the Big Fish show. Now, I launched this show a week ago, and one of the things that I knew that I needed to do last week, that was what do I need to do now, is Myra Pierce needs show notes. Now, I'm super spontaneous. I'm super this. I'm super that. Like, I could be like in 95.7, the Boss radio show one day hosting the Big Fish show, and then I can be like in London the next. Like, I'm just a gone with the wind type of guy, but I need structure. What does this tool does? What does it do for you? It helps you and I provide structure to our lives. And structure, lack of structure, can kill the life of an entity, the life of a business, the life of anything if you don't have it. So this question of what do I need to do now is the beginning of a successful life in business. Here's the second question. What do I need to do later? If you and I would answer that question, here's where you can put these questions. Put them at the end of your night as you look to the next morning of your day, right? You look for the next day as you're landing. You're like, okay, what do I need to do now? This could be at the beginning of your day and the end of your day. I love it. Start at the end, make it the beginning. What do I need to do now? What do I need to do later? Now, what do I need to do later is very powerful for one reason. It takes away the stress. You are so stressed out. You have to do A, you have to do B, you have to do C, you have to make this, you have to cook this, you have to pay this. But if you, my friend, fellow entrepreneur, because when you say, what do I need to do later? Okay, oh, this is so good. Come on, y'all. Shout out to Majestic Living, Ashley Haynes. Go to majesticlivingac.com. She's amazing. She's the epitome of what do I need to do now, what do I need to do later, because what do I need to do now has to do with priority. That's a priority question. Okay? Sometimes we have our priorities messed up. You're not a bad person. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop kicking yourself. You don't deserve that. You are not a bad person. Okay? You may simply have your priorities out of place. So number one question, what do I need to do now? That's a matter of priority. What do I need to do later is a matter of pressure. If you want to remove the pressure from your life, ask yourself, what do I need to do later? Okay. Now the third one is very, very important. It's equally important. Don't shoot the messenger. Oh, those of y'all who are listening by radio, I want to show y'all some love. I know y'all can't see me, or you might be in the app, or maybe you are listening on radio and you have the your Facebook app pulled up. You are a boss if you're doing that, because that takes quite the engineer. Now listen, what do I need to do now? What do I need to do later? What do I need to let go? What do I need to let go? You are holding on to things you've been saying you're going to do and you haven't done it. Just let it go for now. Like putting the pressure on yourself. Right? It's like it's answering the question, at least right now. It's like, what's the point? It's not priority. It's not anything that I need to be pressured about right now. So I just need to let it pass. It doesn't mean that you're not going to come back to it. It doesn't mean that. It just simply means it's just not pressing or not a priority. Now, what I've done, if you're watching on social media, or if you want to go back to social and you're listening by radio on Big Fish Show 95.7 The Boss, you can click or open up your phone and take a picture of the QR code right there. I've actually provided a document for you. Okay. You can QR code that, take a snap, open up your camera and click it. And what you're going to find is you're going to find those 3 questions as a framework for you. And then you're going to have a task list below that, like just certain tasks that you need to do in between getting those things done based on those questions. Okay. And it's for free. It's public domain. Take it, use it. Hopefully it's helpful. Again, this is revolutionary because it's simple. We don't essentially need things that are not helpful. Like we need things that are essential, right? Are they essential? Now, if you and I, over the next 24 hours, let's just break this down, because sometimes we try to change behaviors by focusing out too far. And that's a recipe for disaster. So here's what I want to encourage you in. In the next 24 hours, click right here, go to the QR code. If you're watching by social, if you're not and you're on radio, just find me on my socials. Download the document, or just use it on your phone or a media device and grab a piece of paper, draw 3 columns, ask 3 questions. What do I need to do now? What do I need to do later? And what do I need to let go? Each of those address these 3 things: priority, pressure, right? And then just letting things pass, like just go away because they're unnecessary right now. And if you can do that in life, in your business, watch this. Like, ooh, this is so good. Like, if it comes to your parenting, say you have an issue with your parenting, little knucklehead, messing around, ain't going to sleep, you say this to yourself, because a lot of times you try to parent and discipline. We try to parent and discipline without first organizing how we're going to parent and discipline, giving ourselves a pathway to follow. I'm actually giving you a plan. Watch this. When you're dealing with something with your kids, in the moment, wisdom says, instead of going off the handle, okay, what do I need to do now in this moment? The other day, one of the things I had to do now in that moment was tell my son I love him, because I had to press him a little bit. Right? What did I need to do later? I knew I had to have a conversation with him about some things. What do I need to put off? That dude keep leaving his shoes in a certain area of the crib. Like, I don't need to talk to him about that right now. Does that matter? Yeah, obviously matter. So do you see how you can repurpose this tool, right? To help you, your life, your business, your parenting, right? This tool alone can help you unlock your potential, because when you start applying it to your marketing, when you start applying it to sales, when you start applying it to your operations, or when you start applying it for jumping off the porch, getting started with an idea. Listen, you don't need a fancy business plan if you're listening to me. I know I'm not going to be the most popular on this one. I'm not anti-business plan, but I want to tell you, man, listen, what's stopping you from making the best fish sandwich alone? Like, what's stopping you from jumping out there and going to lay some salt? What's stopping you from being the first to start a grant company? What's stopping you from launching a publishing company? There's nothing stopping you from launching anything but you. But those questions, if you're going to start something, can be used to start something. So, for example, if you say, hey, man, I want to sell boutique bags for men. Okay, cool. What do I need to do now? Well, I got to find out what dudes like. Well, what kind of dudes? dudes with gold teeth, with snapbacks, with New York hats that wear. It takes a village from Sherman Wells that wear Jordans with clear glasses. Them kind of dudes. Okay, cool. That's what I need to do now. I need to go survey them. Okay. What do I need to do later? All right, cool. I need to make sure that my social media handles are on and popping because that's where they be at. They be on TikTok just scrolling. Okay, cool. What do I need to put off? All right, right now I don't really need to put off. I don't really need to put on a business plan or nothing like that. I'm cool. I'm Gucci on that. Right? You see how that works? So I won't tell you how to essentially use this. I'm just simply saying this is what you can do to help you get far and further and unlocking your potential this week. Man, this has been beautiful. It's been heavy. I want to also give a shout out back to my brother Manifest Entity. Hey, if you've been watching or you catching this, I have a friend. His name is Manifest Entity. He's launching a new book. It's called Your Value is a Superpower. And I wanted to bring him on. He is an amazing, amazing leader. You don't want to miss it. Scan that QR code, RSVP. Make sure you get that resource that I provided you for free, my friend. Resource for free. Sorry about that. For free. So go get it. Go Chiefs. Hope y'all have a good night enjoying the Super Bowl. You are amazing. Thank you so much. If you are in need of more resources, you need a coach, go to Own the Pond, OWN, ownthepondnetwork.com. Let me say that one more time, ownthepondnetwork.com. If you need a coach, you say, hey, Myron, I need you to coach me. If you say, I need a website, I need strategy, design, marketing material. If you just say, I'm stuck and I don't know where to start, hit your boy up. DM me if you're on socials. If you're by radio right now, you can give me a call, 402-409-0876. It has been a pleasure. We'll holla at y'all, man. And thank you for choosing